Little 8-amp battery charger maintainer. You can charge your batteries and you can leave it on. It'll keep your battery maintained. But I'm just going to hop it from car to car. I don't drive my cars all that often. I need to keep them charged. And during the winter, I need to keep my lawnmowers charged up to keep the batteries from going bad. I did a partial charge on this car the other day. Got out here yesterday and charged the green truck. And even after it charged for several hours, it still came on with bad battery. I've only had the battery in there a year, but it's been allowed to go dead 2 or 3 times. And I might have damaged that battery, but it's holding the charge right now. I charged it pretty good. What this thing has got, it's got a built-in fan to cool when it gets heated after it charges for a while. Shoemaker, 8-ounce built for charging. Okay, the power light just came on. It's got a light for charging, already charged, clamps reversed. In other words, you got it hooked up wrong, and bad battery. Let's hit start. Okay, the charging light came on. I'm going to work on my lawnmower again today, but I figured while I'm sitting out there tinkering on my lawnmower, we'll just finish charging that battery. Made a Harbor Freight run yesterday. Listen. Takes longer to get started to work than it does to do the work. Let's just throw this stuff on the ground. Why? Because I need to sit down. Ta-da! I've reached my goal. I forgot something. I forgot to hook up the air compressor. Well, we got to get up and go hook up the air compressor. No doubt about it. Here's that guard I took off from around the lawnmower. If you're working on your Husqvarna and you're doing this job that I'm doing now, I'll tell you what I've done so far. I took that guard off. Now these 2 bolts down in here, they go all the way through and also hold up the muffler bracket. They're a good 4.5 inches long. When I got ready to quit yesterday, I just threw tools down everywhere, anywhere I could, because I didn't want to drag them back out again today. I got way more tools out here than I need. Simply because I don't know what wrenches are in what boxes. I got lots more toolboxes in there, but they're all a conglomeration of Heinz 57 tools. I bought these impact magnetic nut setters to use my DeWalt 1/4 inch drive ratchet on to get most of these fittings off. rather than fool with ratchets and sockets like I had to yesterday. I'm gonna need some scissors or something to open that with. Well, back to the toolbox. Oh, I might have a razor cutter in here. Let's see if I do. Oh, better than that, I got some scissors. I'm ready to start disassembling. That wasn't even tight. Okay. Yep, that fuel pump's got to be disconnected. All right, I can see right now I got to stop and go get me some rubber gloves on. All right, I took off a little small nut over here. It was a 5/16 wrench on that one. Still didn't go get my rubber gloves. We're getting there, folks. It's getting loose. What else is going to come off? We got to move some stuff out of the way to get around here and see. Okay, that fuel line connector's got to come off. Back to the 5/16 wrench. Alright folks, I think I got all the bolts out. It feels loose. Oh yeah, it comes right off. We're getting down to the dirty old motor now. Alright, let's figure out what holds this air filter housing on. There's a hole there and a hole there. That's going to take a deep well socket. Good gosh almighty. Alright, for any of y'all that might be doing this job, this air filter housing, it has two bolts that are recessed up in there. I've been through every socket and wrench I could find. Nut driver didn't want to fit on there, and they're in there about that deep. I finally got a hold of it, what looks like an 11mm and a 1/2 inch drive, 3/8 inch drive, extension and ratchet. Now the nut is stuck up in the bolt, so 11mm might have been the wrong size, but it sure got it loose. I was beginning to get frustrated. Let's knock that nut out. All right. Where'd you put your pliers, Walter? I know you threw them up there somewhere or another. We got a vacuum line to get off of here. I'm trying to roll over my own tool. I didn't try, I did. Get any more tools out here, won't be able to go anywhere. Okay, it looks like we got 2 vacuum lines on there. Alright viewers, I got the air filter housing off, which is downright filthy. I closed my choke. I pulled my choke up because I wanted to close this choke before any dirt got in there. The top of this carburetor is covered with dirt that I need to blow off or something. Because I want to pull that carburetor off and get to this solenoid switch and see if that's my problem. I had to disconnect 2 vacuum lines off of that air filter housing. Fuel line hooks up right there. Carburetor's loose already. I just need to pull it off and disconnect these linkages and wires. See how that hooks up. Okay, we got it disconnected. Where does this go? Alright viewers, I disconnected this red wire that goes to the solenoid. The black wire is a long wire. It goes over here. I've already loosened a bolt to the exhaust manifold that's holding that. Looks like a ground wire down. I have to take the bolt all the way out. And then it's just a matter of disconnecting all these linkages and I can take the carburetor right off of there. Well, I got to undo the fuel line. Do the fuel line right now. Attempt to do the fuel line, I mean. Trying to do it without busting my damn hand open. There we go. We've got gas to there. I don't know how far I'll make it today, but it ain't hot out here yet. Well, for better or worse, Walter has got the carburetor loose except for the linkages. Now we got to make sure everything goes back the way it's supposed to. That one goes in there. That one has a spring on it. Put your glasses on, Walter, and see where that spring hooks up. Uh-oh, I've lost a gasket. See if we can pick that thing up without breaking it. It is broke. It came off of right here. We might have to get a gasket kit. Then again, if I put it back, it'd probably work anyway. Half the time, I don't know if my GoPro's pointed the right way or not. Looks like the spring goes in the same... Oh, there's a little hole right there. Okay. They don't look too complicated. All right. Oh, must be a clamp on that. I would have never figured that out if I hadn't thought about it. I had to be careful not to lose that clamp. Viewers, if you remember about, I don't know, a year or two ago, my son brought a lawnmower over here that he had blowed up the engine on it. And I salvaged a carburetor off of it. And when I was in there trying to figure out how to do this solenoid, which I can't find a wrench to fit, this is the carburetor off of this engine. And the problem, I believe, is in this fuel solenoid right here. But they got designed where you can't even get a wrench on it. If you turn that, it just slips. So when I found this carburetor, I just brought it out here. It's a little bit different, but it hooked up just fine. And all I've done was slip it on like that. I don't have any of the linkages hooked up, but I want you to hear this. I'm just going to keep that pushed up against there. I think I put all my linkages back on that carburetor that came off the old one. Boy, that's got some heat coming off of it. The exhaust must be coming right up in here on the engine. That's what it is. Normally when you're cutting your driving away and the exhaust is blowing out the side, I didn't realize that much heat comes up around the carburetor when you're stop and just leave a lawnmower running. But I think I can get by with this old carburetor that I took off of James's lawnmower. That lawnmower blowed up a long time ago. It's a little bigger. It's got a bigger fuel bowl on it, but it fits just fine. I'm going to hook everything back up and see if we can't make that one work. If it don't, we can rebuild this one. I'd say that's progress. Well, that whole engine needs cleaning, but let's put it back together and see if it works. Well, I have succeeded. I have succeeded in repairing my lawnmower now. I just got to put everything back together, the covers and all that. The old carburetor I took off of James's old lawnmower worked like a champ. We just need to put all the top back on the motor here. I've already been driving it. I took it out there and squirted it off with a garden hose. It's pretty darn hot right now. It's been running for about 10-15 minutes. But I'm going to go ahead, as long as I can stand this sunlight, and see if I can finish the mower today. But I'll let you hear it run. It works, folks. The problem was that stupid solenoid switch on the bottom of both carburetors. The carburetor that I took off of here, and I don't know if I did the right thing or not, but it had a plunger that runs up and down. I just took the plunger out and threw it away. I'll show it to you if I can find it. Some of you are going to tell me I shouldn't have done that. And it backfired when I shut it off, but that just means I got to slow the engine down before I turn it off. There's that plunger. This thing was in that solenoid, and it runs up and shuts off the fuel. I just took it out and threw it away. But I got the nut tight enough for now. Oh, my knee's giving out. If you're ever doing this, you got to connect this wire back up to a ground right here, or it won't start. Took me a while to figure out why it wouldn't start. I thought the battery was dead. Damn, that engine's hot. I better check the oil. But I've been running the snot out of it, so